done this a fair amount of time preparing for Drew Brees and Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints. How hard is it to prepare for these guys versus other opponents?
Um, I don't have a degree of difficulty meter when it comes to this team as opposed to other offenses. The league every week is full of talented, motivated players that are positioned to execute, and our job is to make sure that we stop them, that we force turnovers, that we do the things that are within our values and the things that we have to do in terms of trying to win a football game.
Those turnovers have been kind of few and far between recently. What can you do in this last week to try and jumpstart it and get back on track?
Yeah, well, as a coach, the one thing that I try and communicate are, the consistency is in terms of the details and the things that we believe will be a difference and a factor in producing turnovers or anything else that we believe will give us a chance to win. So there's nothing this week that we'll do that we haven't done each and every week that we didn't do in the off season. We'll continue to emphasize it. Producing turnovers is really a byproduct of being in great position, whether it's pad level, whether it's executing your assignment with playing ahead of the play, being aggressive, physical. All those things are the factors that end up producing turnovers, and that's what we're going to try and do at the highest level possible.
What have you learned the last 2 years as the coordinator here?
Well, what I've tried to do is make sure that each and every week I am giving our guys the best plan. I'm communicating to the players. I'm communicating to our coaches in terms of clarity of who the opponent is and what we're trying to get done in terms of our game plan and how to play complementary football. And every week I'm trying to do that better and better and better at the highest level possible. And that's the challenge that I place upon myself, and that's something that I want to try to continue to improve with. Being in a position of leadership means that your level of responsibility increases, and whatever happens, you're responsible for it. And so I have to do a great job of communicating to coaches who have to communicate to players. So there's another layer as opposed to being a position coach where you have direct access to the guys all of the time. So there are nuances and what have you. And, at the end of the day, you want to just continue to grow, just like you ask the players to grow.
Are you preparing Sunday that you may not have Vernon in there because what the league may do punishment-wise?
No, I don't really. In terms of the league will handle whatever they have to handle. That's up to the league. And whatever the organization chooses to do, that'll be handled internally.
With Donte, not getting any defensive snaps last week, Perry said he expects him to play some on defense this weekend. What do you want to see from him with this last game?
Just to execute and to be productive. Execute his assignment, do his job at the highest level, and be productive when he has opportunities to do that, make plays on the football, be in a great position to tackle when the corners are the point of attack run defender. And let's see if we can get our hands on some balls and try and get some takeaways and score on defense.
Anything else for Coach? If you were to prepare for Christian McCaffrey this week to keep him from getting the 67 yards receiving he needs to join that elite club, what would you do?
Well, Christian's a special player, special talent, great attitude, and I think that what he's focused on and what he's determined to do is try and do everything that he possibly can to help us to win a football game. I'm glad that we don't have to face Christian, and we've been very fortunate to have him on our team, and what he's been able to do this year has been amazing to witness, and it's a tremendous credit to him and the guys around him that have put him in those positions.
Is it the point of playing not the point, but on defense, you want to kind of try and force those checkdowns, right? Because all the other guys are covered, and then it seems like even this week it's prescient for you because with Kamara, they dump it down to him and then he has open space. How do you guard against keeping somebody up there to take care of the running back, but also making sure the other guys are covered too?
Well, the varying coverage concepts will kind of account for that. Sometimes you may see you may play a slightly tighter coverage against the running back, and then sometimes you have to be in a position to break on that pass if the quarterback chooses or elects to check it down in that position. And we have to have great awareness as far as the down and distance. What's happening when they are most likely to go to Kamara. Is it third down? Is it 2 minute? Is it a spread or empty situation? When are those things happening? And then we have to play with great vision and discipline as far as our drops are concerned. And then the front, everything starts with we have to really constrict, Drew Brees. We have to make sure that we get our hands up and that if he's trying to throw the ball, through the middle of our defense, that we're there to provide some obstruction. And hopefully we can get our hands on some passes in the forms of tips at the line of scrimmage. So there are a variety of things that we have to do to kind of limit their ability to check the ball down to a dynamic player like Alvin Kamara.
You've seen F.A. Bada since he came into this building or into camp or wherever.
Sure.
This past week he got his most snaps he's ever had in a Panthers uniform. What kind of growth has he had over those years?
So physically, F.A. has gotten stronger. He's had access to an NFL level off-season and in-season strength and conditioning program, and he has taken full advantage of that. And then, when you accumulate experiences like he has been able to do with actually playing in regular season games as opposed to what happens in the preseason when things are kind of controlled, he has just grown as a player, which is something that's typical. And to FA's credit, he's taken advantage of that. It's one thing to be out there, and it's another thing to take that experience and use it to make the next one, even better for yourself and for the overall cause. And FA has done that. I'm excited for him, and I think he has a bright future going forward.
Can you sometimes learn from doing things wrong?
Absolutely, without question. Sometimes that's where the wisdom really shows up, and the wisdom comes sometimes as much from failure as it does from success. And when you're in a position where when something doesn't happen the way you want, a wise person learns from that. There are things you can learn from success, but wisdom really, really shows up from failure as opposed to successful situations.
Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.